my presentation about why the Earth is flat. So right here we just have our, basically what we're going to be talking about. Why do people believe that the Earth is flat? Why did the government lie? The structure of the Earth, the religion behind it, and the fact that it's more than just about the shape of the Earth. Okay. First we're going to start with why people believe that the Earth is flat. So there's a lot of religious things that are behind it in Christianity, Catholicism, and I think Islam. Distrusting the government because they have like hidden things from us before, they've lied to us before about certain things. People don't believe that we've been to outer space, which you can see in this picture right here, which is of the moon landing. Yeah. So whenever the moon landing happened, they placed the flag in the Earth, in the moon, and you can see it like clearly wave, but apparently there's no atmosphere on the moon. So even if the spaceship or something like blew some air, there's no air to be blown because there's no atmosphere on the moon. So there's no possible way that it could have waved, which is a big reason why they feel like the moon landing was not real. The theory of gravity, we're taught in school that gravity is, I guess, a real thing, but it's really just a theory. Like it's something that cannot be proven to be true. It's not the law of gravity, it's the theory of gravity. But for some reason we're taught that it's real. I don't know why. And pictures of the Earth have been admitted to not being real. So this picture right here, I don't know if y'all can see it that well, but you can see where it's like circling certain things on that. So you can see cloud formations like repeating in pictures of the Earth. And that's because, here, you can go to the next slide and I'll talk about it. Now, do you guys see anything wrong with this? Anything wrong with these pictures?
They all look different.
Besides the fact that they all look different. I chose different pictures.
The light.
Different sizes.
That's it?
Some are bigger than the other.
Like a flat.
Some are bigger.
It doesn't have symmetry.
Not Malik in the back.
They all look flat, like a flat circle. It doesn't look like,
Oh, you can never see the whole full thing.
yeah, you just see that one part.
Okay, besides all those things that you said, the major thing that's wrong with all of these pictures is that there's no stars in the background. Did you guys notice that?
Ah.
There's no stars in the background of any picture that they've taken of Earth, right?
Right.
So now we're getting into the part where they have admitted, NASA has admitted to pictures of the Earth, such as these. I literally searched up satellite picture of Earth on Google, and these came up. They have admitted to these being fake, which is why in the last picture you see cloud formations repeating. So they take these things called composite images, because they can't get far enough away from the Earth to just take a picture like that, right? So they have to take pictures of like one sliver of the Earth, like one section, and then another section, and another section, and then they have to put it all together. So can you go back to the last one? In that picture right there, you can see how there's like cloud formations repeating because when you take pictures of rectangles and you try to put them in like a circular form, there will be like spaces in between each one, right? So you can go back to the next one. All of these pictures are not real. None of them that you've seen of the Earth are actual pictures of the Earth.
Mind
You can go to the next slide. Why would the government lie? They're very adamant about keeping church and state separate, which is why we can't talk about religion openly in schools and stuff. I mean, we technically can, but you know, teachers and stuff can't bring those type of things up. Science and religion almost never agree. We would have absolutely no purpose on this earth if it was round, which we'll talk about that later. And with no purpose, the government is automatically going to have more control over us, because it's like, we'll get to that later too. The United Nations Antarctic Treaty, which is my historical event that is connected to this. And basically, the thing about the legal and illegal drugs, the most drugs that are legal are like Xanax, Percocets and stuff that you're prescribed to by a doctor. These drugs typically like fry your brain and make you almost dumber, right? But drugs that are illegal, such as like weed, LSD, shrooms, and stuff that actually open up your mind to new ideas are illegal because they literally open up our mind. They don't want us to think deeply into, I guess, what they got going on the low, besides just the Earth being flat, like even just a lot of the other conspiracy theories that people are going to talk about. The United Nations Antarctic Treaty. Are you guys writing down questions? I hope you are.
Yes, we're listening, Nate. Just talk.
The United Nations Antarctic Treaty. So in 1959, world leaders from the most powerful countries in the world signed a treaty saying that no one's allowed to go to Antarctica on a non-government-led mission. So if you did not go with your country's government, you are not allowed to go to Antarctica at all. Like, you can't go there on vacation, not like there's vacation spots or anything. You can't go and like explore by yourself, it's not allowed. They claim this was to keep the continent peaceful after, I think it was World War II. It allowed to have common ground, but that makes no sense because it's literally inhabitable. No one is able to live there anyway, so there's really no purpose in them having done that. But theorists have other reasons for signing this treaty. So right here, we have a map of the United Nations. Like, this is the United Nations map. On this picture, we can see all of the continents except for Antarctica, right?
Right.
So the theory is that this leaf thing right here represents Antarctica. That is what the flat Earth map would actually look like from like an aerial point of view. And around us would be an ice wall, which is why you can't fall off the Earth, which is why we can't go to Antarctica, which is why we can't see it and all that stuff, because it's literally the barrier between us and all that, right? Which is why they don't want us to go there. They don't want us to explore it. Is this funny? Okay. You can go to the next.
We're all good at that. The government's literally.
Now this is where it gets really deep, and I tried to explain some I guess scientific facts and stuff like that before I explain the religion thing, because not everybody believes in religion. So first we have Genesis 1:6-8. God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning the second day. So right here we have the definition of firmament. The heavens and earth referred to as a tangible thing. Not as an abstract idea, not as something you can't see or can't touch. It's a tangible thing. It's something that is real, right? And the waters above the firmament is why they say that the sky is blue. And then Genesis 1:14-18, and let them be for signs for days. Let them be for signs and for days and for seasons and for years. So a lot of people ask me, how can the earth have seasons if it's not rotating? Like if the sun and the moon and blah, 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 whatever. It literally says it in this verse. And God made two great lights, the greater to rule the day and the lesser to rule the night. He made the stars also and put them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and God saw it was good. You can go to the next one so I can explain this better. So here we have what the firmament would look like. This is an old picture from a Catholic church. You have the firmament, and there's stars which are inside of it, the sun and the moon which would be inside of the actual tangible firmament thing. And it says that there was two great lights, but what they teach us in school is that the sun is a light and the moon is just a rock floating in space that is reflecting, right? But God said there's two great lights, not a light and a rock, which both of them are inside of our firmament, according to the Bible. So the Bible also talks about the circle of the earth. It never says anything about it being round, sphere, nothing like that. It's a circle, which is a two-dimensional figure. Historical images from the Catholic Church, which you see right here. Psalms 104:5, which this is very important, and I made this discovery while I was making this project. He set the earth on its foundation, so it shall never be moved. So, what is the whole concept of the solar system?
That it moves in circular.
We're rotating, and we're rotating around the sun.
Right.
But God set earth on its foundations so that it shall never be moved, which makes no sense.
T.
The whole science of it. And also, the Bible says nothing about any other planets. So, that's something to go on to.
They made it up.
Next. Now, I waited to put this on the last slide so I can kind of answer all the questions and go through the whole structure and everything before. So, I wish I had a pointer or something because I can't reach that. So you can see, this picture is the most accurate picture. Can you guys read it?
Yes.
Okay, so you see the firmament right there, the sun and the moon, which are inside of there, and the stars are technically in the actual firmament, if that makes sense. I don't know how to word that correctly. You can see the clouds. You can see right at the top it says the heavens, and then in the middle that's what they call the floodgates of heavens. If you hear that in songs and stuff like that, that's what that is. And right here, where it says foundations of heaven, the foundations that God placed that the earth shall never be moved, you can see that it looks icy, right? What did I say that was? The Antarctic wall. Wow! What an amazing thing! So here's also other pictures of it, and they're basically all set up the same. What you see that says Sheol or something like that, I think that's what's supposed to be representing hell, which is why they call it the underworld and all that other stuff.
Where's that at?
Yeah.
Right there,
So,
underworld,
next.
and then the great deep.
Oh, unless you guys wanted to look at it for a minute.
I want to look at it for a minute.
What does it say at the top? Something of the earth
Which one?
underneath, right there,
Which picture?
that one, the top left. What does that say? Columns of the earth?
Columns of mountains. I don't know what that means. That was just looking at representation. I didn't actually read the other two because that one, the words on that one are the most accurate, like the actual representation of that. These are just other pictures of it.
And so are those where all the references would be made to those
Yes,
ideas
these
in the
verses-
Bible?
These verses, yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
okay.
You can move on now.
All right, Malik, go ahead.
Okay. Now, the flat earth is more than just about the shape. It's more than just like, there's no outer space, there's more than just all this stuff that I just talked about. If the earth was flat, that means that the Big Bang was not real. That means that we were put here, so we have more purpose than just birth, life, and death. If the earth was flat, that means that something or someone has placed us here for us to have a purpose. Like, it wasn't just by chance, I guess, which is what I guess the government wants us to think or whatever. We aren't in the solar system, we aren't here by chance, and this was purposeful, and so is life. Human life was not created by accident. So the government or NASA or whoever, they want us to believe something that may or may not be true. I don't know if I'm completely convinced by this. But they want us to believe something that may or may not be true so that they can almost have like more control over us, I guess, in order to like keep us in order, to separate church and state, because religion is not proved because of faith and all of that, whatever. But human life was not created by accident if the earth was flat. And that is my presentation.